Outside the EU conference hall, Afghan protesters gathered to urge the international community to give generously to the rebuilding of their country. But as world leaders and top diplomats gathered to discuss the nation's future, news of a controversial deal that could see large numbers of Afghans deported from Europe. The leaked agreement between the EU and Afghan government signed in Kabul on Sunday allows EU member states to deport an unlimited number of failed asylum cases. It obliges the Afghan government to receive them in a new reception facility in Kabul airport. Another leaked memo from March says that more than 80,000 Afghans could be returned in the near future. Al Jazeera understands that the deal may have been a condition for receiving EU financial aid. Human rights groups claim the Afghan government was pressured into signing it.
An Afghan official told me that this is a cup of poison he had to drink because, for the sake of the country, and they were put into that situation by the EU to accept funding and at the same time to accept the big group of Afghan deportees who will be returned to the country.
For many Afghans, the dream of life in Europe ends quickly. Afghans form the second largest group of refugees in the EU. These people were hoping to resettle in Germany, but all they got was a ticket home. And this is the reality many people face when they return to Afghanistan: violence and political instability. As the donor conference began, Afghan forces continued their assault on Taliban positions in the northern city of Kunduz. The Taliban still controls large swathes of the country. 70% of Afghanistan's national budget is dependent upon international financial support. Most of that money is spent on national security, which is why this international donors conference is so vital for the country's future. And when it comes to the latest agreement between the Afghan government and the European Union, well, the European Council have told us that this latest deal should not be seen as a condition to financial support. The EU struggling to cope with the largest influx of refugees since the Second World War. These, the latest arrivals making their way from Serbia towards the Hungarian border. The situation's created deep divisions among EU states on how best to deal with the crisis, shaking European unity to the core. The EU deal with Afghanistan aims to turn part of the problem into a solution, but leaves those looking for a better life in Europe with an uncertain road ahead. Niamh Barker, Al Jazeera, Brussels.